Good afternoon and welcome to the Inspirational Anna Show. I am very excited to be back here to be speaking with different people about different topics to uplift you and to uplift me. Today's guest is an amazing person that I am, let's use the word awed by. If you met anyone who's living on passion and on a mission, this is the guy. And so it is with the Inspirational Anna Show. Our goal to get you to live your passion, to talk about serious subjects, to talk about fun subjects, to educate and to inspire. So I'm not going to waste too much time. All I can say is welcome to the Inspirational Anna Show. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell others to subscribe so that we build a community where positive messaging goes forward every other week. So, as you know, one of my favorite things is poetry. And in dedication to the man we're about to talk to and dedication to self, here's a poem that I have for you called The Man in the Glass by Peter Dale. When you get what you want in your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your father or mother or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. You may be like Jack Homer and chisel a plum and think you're a wonderful guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look at him straight in the eye. He's the fellow to please. Never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end. And you've passed your most dangerous, difficult test if the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years, and yet pats on the back as you pass. But your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. That is the man in the glass. I chose this poem because our guest, Yaw Pare, author of Haunted Remnants of a Haunted Past, is living his passion, his truth, and his journey of educating and inspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's bring in Mr. Yaw Pare because we have a lot to talk about. Yes.
Hi.
Hello, how are
Hi,
you?
Anna.
How are
Greetings
you?
from Accra, Ghana.
Greetings from Canada. I hope you enjoyed the poem.
It was beautiful. The
Yeah,
man in the glass.
The
Thank
Man in
you.
the
It was
Glass.
beautiful.
And
Yes.
I've admired your work for so long, and I know
Wow.
that the work that goes into doing such beautiful work. And so, without looking in the mirror and seeing yourself, it is easy to drop the baton. Thank you for going on, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about you on the Inspirational Anna Show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Anna. It's a
Awesome.
pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, here's the book we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, um, I don't know what to say. All you people have to get yours, black, white, Chinese, whatever, whoever you are, so that you can begin to tell the black story, to see the damage that was done so that it's never done again. For us to build a world in which nobody looks down on anyone. These are picture books. This is a picture book. Some of us don't like reading too much. So see, but see. Too bad we can't see it properly, but wow, Mr. Yaw Pare. So tell us a bit about yourself, please.
Well, once again, thank you, Anna. My name is Yaw Pare, as everybody knows me, but my full name is Yaw Pare. I was born and raised in Ghana. lived a little bit of my life outside Ghana in the United States. I was there for about 16 years before moving back to Ghana. And I think that's where my story started. After living my life in the States, a new life began here in Ghana as well. So, well, let's start with that. Born raised
Okay.
in Ghana, then
Okay.
wait for your next question. Yeah.
So you lived in the US for 16 years, right?
Yes, please.
What made you decide? Because you know how it is. We like to
Ah,
say, I'm waiting for retirement and I'm waiting for the children to grow
yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we retire, and the retirement money is not enough.
It actually never comes.
So I want, because I know what courage it takes
Yes.
to make the move that you made. I know
Mhm.
what courage it takes. Tell
Yeah.
me, what was your inspiration?
Well, one way or the other, it wasn't so much of my main decision to come back home. My
Okay,
decision was a forced decision. In life, sometimes certain things happen to us that we fight against, but in the end, probably works out best for us.
right.
After my divorce, I had a bit of a hard time in the
Okay,
States trying
okay,
to, get things going. And I mean, it's one of those things you try everything, but nothing is really working,
okay,
you know.
okay.
So that actually pushed me to come into Ghana. And it wasn't
Oh,
easy
right,
because
right.
when I
Okay, hold
landed,
it there. Hold it there because
okay,
there's a question coming up.
okay.
You know,
Mhm.
I'm the type of person that says, if it's not working, guess
Yes,
what?
yes,
Do something about it.
exactly.
So, whilst we don't want to glorify the fact that there was a divorce and this and that, at the end of the day, and looking at where you are now, we would say it was a blessing. No?
In disguise, yeah.
Okay, let's not go. The reason,
And back to what you were saying, I remember going to see a counselor one time, and he says, like, God is trying to put asunder, let no man put together.
okay,
I said,
because
I've
the
never
thing is,
heard that one before, but if that's the case, I'll take it.
well then,
But anyway, yes.
so
Yeah.
I don't want anyone listening here to think that we're making light of
Oh, no, no,
divorce
no.
or anything like that. But all we're saying is
This is
that,
my personal situation.
right, and
Yeah.
all we're saying is that in this case,
Yeah.
um, things have worked out, right?
Yeah.
So when you were making that move to
Mhm.
go to Ghana, did you have in mind? Because a lot of us are still stuck in North America because we don't know what we'll do when we get to Ghana, right?
Sure.
Did you know what you wanted to do once you got to Ghana?
Well, it's funny to think that there will be something to do when you're coming back to Ghana because you don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. And people, my brother was here, he passed away, unfortunately. But so he's like, come, when
Okay.
you come, Ghana doesn't have a certain strategy, but when you come, he's like, you will make it because
Thank
he came and he made it. But there's not a formula that is written in stone that, oh,
right.
when you come, do one, two, three, and it's going
Mhm.
to happen. You just have to come on faith, and it wasn't an easy decision to make.
Make.
But then again, we're talking about 2006, right after the financial debacle that happened in the US. Nothing was like, man,
Working.
nothing was working. I mean, everything was so bad. People were killing themselves because they couldn't afford their rents. So
Their
many things,
mortgage. Yeah.
mortgages and all whatnot, car notes and stuff like that. And for me, I felt like, man, I would rather leave my kids in a better place than just sit here and suffer, with my current situation because I didn't have any job at that time.
Well,
Everything was, yeah. So
well,
anyway,
I don't
we
mean
moved,
I don't mean to cut you, but
yeah,
I want, see, what I don't want people to think is
yeah.
that we came to talk about the book and now we're talking about your personal life.
is leading to
It's
that.
really, because it's a sweet conversation
Yeah,
that I'm sure many people are contemplating but don't
yeah.
know what to do. So let's just
I'll
say
say
that,
make the move. I wouldn't even let you land. Make the move.
make the
As,
move.
as
Thank
as
you.
bad as it is, there's nothing you can go and fix in America. There's so many things you can come here with your knowledge and come fix here.
Okay,
So, as the
everybody,
Chinese said, if you find a problem, that's how you make money.
thank you.
So
Thank you.
I would encourage anybody who's kind of on the fence on thinking about making a move. It's not going to be easy, but who says easy things are the best things to have?
And
So
everybody, we all know Yaw Pare, so
yeah.
let's go and
Okay.
let's
So anyway, so I came back in 2010. This was after a lot of contemplation and trying things that didn't work for me to still be there. So I came back, and I only had like $200 to my name when I came back. Yeah,
wow.
it was so devastating at that time. So
Mm,
um, struggled quite a bit and just tried to put two and two together. And everything that I was doing wasn't really
working.
working. It wasn't really cutting it. So I found a camera in my brother's room.
Mm.
This is how it started.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. So
Yeah,
my next question was,
yeah.
are you a professional photographer?
Okay, so when you talk about professionalism, I
Mhm,
think, let me explain it this way. A professional photographer to many is somebody who's gone to school and studied.
mhm.
That's the understanding of being a professional photographer.
Right.
My understanding of being a professional photographer, maybe my own dub explanation for that, is somebody who's taking their job serious. Okay, if you take anything
Mm,
that you're doing seriously and you perform and you deliver, okay, because I mean, many people are talking about, oh yeah, he's the great, he's good at photography, he's the best, blah blah blah. I think the best is not as the picture you're taking, because I can tell you there are a lot of people, I see their picture and I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful picture. I
mhm,
probably, but it's about the business sense you add to your skill. Okay,
mm.
that's what makes you a professional, in my opinion.
In
Okay,
any scheme.
industry, in anything that you do, I mean, that's how you should look at it.
All right.
So yeah, as far as being a professional photographer, that's my explanation of it. Others may
Okay.
differ in how they do it, but that's
They
my
see.
explanation of it.
Well, professional or not, you have been blowing our minds. Well, let me say my mind by looking at your following on social media and all that, and the comments people have been leaving and all that. It
Wow.
is mind blowing, right?
Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
how did you find one camera
Mhm.
and now we're here?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And knowing how difficult life is as a creative person, it's not
Mhm.
easy for people to buy into what you do.
Yeah.
The reason this question is important is because we have so many young people who are creative, or even adults who
Mhm.
have shelved their creative side and are
Mhm.
dying slowly because they find themselves in jobs and in places that some
Mhm.
people will say, if only I could sing. I,
Mhm.
for one, if only I could be a comedian. I know
I think you're doing a good job. You're making me laugh.
since childhood that I
Yeah.
wanted to be a comedian. I
Yeah.
am going to be the comedian now that I'm talking to you. But
That's
how
it.
do you and I then
Mhm.
inspire that woman, that man, that young man? Tell us how
Yeah.
you went from a heartbreak, a lot of struggle. You see how I'm weaving the story? A
You're
heartbreak,
a rapper too.
a lot of stories. Moving back home to your motherland, not knowing what you're going to do, a man, you know how it is.
Yeah.
And then finding one camera and saying, let's do this. How did you
Yeah.
do that?
Okay, so before it got to me finding that one camera and doing that, I was doing a lot of other things. I find myself to be a creative. I mean, it's I'll put it this way: it's a blessing. Everything that I put my mind to do, I do it the best way I can, and people tell me that, oh, this is great. So, in other words, I excel in most of the
Right.
things that I put my mind to.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and it's with this same determination. I do quite a lot. We'll get to that, but yeah, let's stick with the photography right now. So I was trying. I started with a tour company when I came. So how do you go to places to see places when you're broke? Okay. Now I'm going to give you a one-on-one class on that. You
Master
rent
class.
a master class. You rent a van, find people to pay for it, then you go on a tour. That's how you get to see places. So that's how it started.
That is a straight up business plan. Straight
That's
up.
this, yeah.
That's
So
it.
you charge enough to cover the expenses, the back and forth.
And a little
And
extra for
yeah,
your pocket.
yes, I started to do that. At that time, I had just picked up this camera that I was saying in my brother's room,
Okay.
and I asked him, "Oh, can I use this?" Like, "Oh, well, it's been sitting there forever, but it was one of the best he bought at that time." So I said, "Okay, let me give it a try." And for those who know cameras, it was the Canon 3D. I didn't even know there was a 3D back then, but yeah.
Okay.
So the Canon 3D, it was quite okay. Now, this is what people should know, and to advise others who want to be something else that they have a passion for. You are not going to get all, you shouldn't wait to get everything before you make the move. Okay. And for everything that you're trying to do in life, you must really find out your why.
Mm,
Okay. There's the what, there's the when, there's the how, and all of those things.
mhm,
Those things, the other three, the why, the what, the how, and the when, are not convicting enough.
mhm,
Now, if you find your why do I want to do this? It's
mhm.
because I want to eliminate the situation that I'm in right now
Right.
into going into a better place.
Right.
So that's just a sidebar. But
Mhm.
yeah, once I took the camera and I was telling my brother, man, this picture on this billboard, man, it's so bad. I could have, they could have done it this way, they could have done it this way.
Right.
And he kept saying, okay, if you want to see better, do it then. I'm like, okay, all right, why not? And I like a
Yeah.
challenge. Anytime
Right.
someone
Right.
challenges me, I'm like,
So let
okay,
me pause you there a
yeah,
little bit. Let me pause you
yeah,
there a little bit.
uh-huh,
You keep referring to your brother, and
mhm,
your brother keeps pushing you forward, right?
mhm, yeah,
Would you say that your brother was instrumental? Because you see, people
mhm,
forget that sometimes what we say to a dreamer, or
mhm.
sometimes what we say
Oh,
to
may
somebody
kill.
who is suffering, what we
Mhm.
say to that person could change their whole story. Would you say your brother was instrumental in where you are today?
Yes, in a way, because he wasn't actually probably didn't have the belief that probably I would be this way.
Right.
But he's like, okay, if you are claiming others are not doing it right,
Then do
show
it.
show what you can do. And it was funny. There's a little bit of a story to the camera, but just to go to where I started with the tours and stuff with the camera. So I was like, okay, wow, I didn't know Ghana was so beautiful
Mm,
traveling outside Accra, and hence my hashtag that goes, Ghana is not Accra, or Accra is not Ghana. I
yeah.
have this hashtag I put on
Right.
my pictures like that. When you get outside Accra, there's so much beauty, you
Mm,
know,
mm,
that we sit in Accra and everybody's choked up here, but
mm,
it's so beautiful and relaxing when you pass places like Sogakope and you're going to the Volta region. You
mhm.
pass places like Takoradi, you're going to the Western region. It's like you're in a new country.
Right.
So beautiful and so nice. So
Right.
every time I go around, I take a picture, and it started as a hobby.
Right.
Really, I didn't know there was a way to really monetize
Right.
what I was doing. So, fast forward 2016, okay, after doing all these tryouts with my camera back and forth, I put on my Facebook, I am going to do photography professionally, and I've
Okay.
started. So, if anybody needs my services, it's like I opened the floodgates to request.
Yes.
Unbelievable. My
Yes.
first 2 to 3 weeks doing that, I made $6,800. Okay, in photography, just taking pictures, events, and stuff. And I was like, what? Why have I been sitting there, worrying about other things?
Mhm.
I was planning to get into so many other things that were big, and none of them were working. And I
Mm.
remember quite clearly one lady telling me, there's a rich lady that, also became an inspiration to me. She's like, Yao, I know you want to get into all these other businesses and you're striving so hard and it's not working. But the way and the passion in which you take your pictures, you should really consider that. And I was like, really?
Mhm.
And sometimes when people keep telling you, man, you're good at this, you should. And for you, you don't see it as such.
Yeah.
So if you're not strong enough in terms of pursuing it, you just might say, oh, I just can do this a little. And, it fascinates a few people. But take it beyond that. And that's what I did. I took it beyond that and never looked back. And it's
Mm.
just grown into different businesses out of one business.
I love it. I
Thank you.
love the fact that you see that's the other thing. You were listening to what people were saying, right? You were
Mhm,
taking the positive remarks and actually taking it seriously. It also helped that you actually took it a step further and took it into a business that
mhm,
showed you the income, the
mhm.
money that can
That
come
could be me.
out of it, right? The other
Yeah.
day we were having a conversation and I was saying, a lot of us want to go and sit in an office, but even selling things like plantain and
Mhm,
peanuts,
mhm,
if you start it on a small scale and you stay dedicated to it and you keep seeing it bigger and bigger, bigger, it will get bigger, right?
yes.
So in
Yes.
this case, one, you took a chance on yourself.
Mhm,
Two, you listened to the positive things that people were saying.
mhm,
And three, you put yourself out there,
mhm,
which now gave you the bigger picture of
mhm,
what is possible. You
mhm,
saw the beauty of Mother Ghana.
mhm.
Since you went back and you've seen the beauty of Mother Ghana, have you looked back wishing you hadn't left the US?
Oh no, no. I never wish that I never left the U.S. At some point in time, I mean, if you are blinded to situations, because in those, I would say, in those places, you are indoctrinated so much to think so bad about wherever you're coming from that
Yes.
you don't even feel like going back.
Mm-hmm.
What I have done, and I think I mentioned this to you, and I'll put it out there in the public, is that it's a media warfare that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That is very sublime. Nobody really knows about it. But in 2006, I remember when my dad called me and said, "Hey, yeah, there's this property here you need to look at, and you should probably get it." And I had the means to, but the first thing I did, I went on Google to look at Ghana. And this is, I've been gone for like 12 years, and I just wanted to see, okay, how was Ghana looking for me to make an investment in Ghana?
Right.
And everything, I mean, it started with Ghana. It came with people like some. I'm not making this up. It was like somebody from BBC, white guy, rolled up his trousers, standing in flood, and talking about Ghana in the flood or something. Everything I saw there wasn't complimentary of a
Mm-hmm.
place that you want to be, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So, how does that affect us as a country if somebody is not retelling our story? How does that
Mm-hmm.
affect us? It affects us massively.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I didn't make that investment in the country because I thought it wasn't a good place to be, right? Secondly, if I if I was one of the people who didn't do it, chances are there were probably 20 to 100 people who felt like, oh man, this place is baller and I don't want to be part of that.
Yeah.
So imagine how the media portrayal of a place
Mm-hmm.
can affect the place.
Yes.
So my thing was to reverse that. How do you reverse that? Not butter. Fight what is being shown out by something positive. You show this is Ghana, and I show this is Ghana. You make the comparison. Okay,
Yes.
but there are two sides to Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
not even one side that is being shown. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, the flood was the flood. They stood in it and took a picture, and it looked horrible. Of course, floods are horrible. Yeah, when you look at it.
Right.
But did they go to a place like Butray to take a picture
No.
where you can see the ocean, the bottom of the ocean, beautiful skies, beautiful beaches, and all that? They didn't do that.
No.
So it's incumbent upon the ones who are here to make our country likable to a lot of people. And I know for myself, I've benefited for three businesses, that of which two I'm involved currently. That was because of my pictures went out there and somebody called and said,
Wow.
wow, is this Ghana?
Wow.
I'd like to
Wow.
come take a trip there. And it's been it's been amazing. And I know a lot of people who come and tell me, oh man, we were at this conference and I saw your pictures being used, blah, blah, blah. And people personally even using it to say that, okay, I'm from Ghana and this is Ghana, you know.
You know,
So there's a lot of pride that goes into that when you know that you have something to show people of your place that defeats the narrative that's been put out there. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. So, remnants of a haunted past,
Yes.
forts and castles of
Okay.
Ghana.
Mhm.
So, you actually traveled to each of these places. Number
Yes.
one, I envy you that you were able to go there. I don't envy the work though.
It wasn't easy,
I can imagine.
to say the
I
least.
don't,
Yeah.
but I'm looking at the pictures, right? And it's almost a beautiful, sad, but something to sell, something to tell,
Mhm.
so that there's a sweetness about what went wrong and what can be done. You
About it.
know, whenever there's a bad situation, you can continue to hang on to the badness of it, or you can look at how do we bridge that bad
The
and
God.
the good that can come out of it. So,
Yeah.
in traveling all these castles and forts,
Mhm.
how did it make you feel? How many are there? Oh my God, I can't even. Oh, yes, that's how passionate I feel about the book.
Thank you. Thank you.
How how did it make you feel?
Yeah. Well, the feeling was one part. The other one was the work. How I got into doing the books in the first place, the book and taking the pictures for the book, started as questions that were being asked when I took people for a tour. Oh,
Hmm.
so how many forts and castles do you have? I'm like, I don't know,
I don't
but
know.
I know the one that I'm taking you. So, and the questions kept coming, and people were like, it would be great to have a guide. So, I started to think, okay,
Listening once
maybe,
again.
it would be great to have a guide. And of course, these things just don't happen. It's not easy to put something like that book together.
No, it's not.
Even just the shipment alone to Ghana alone costs close to 40,000 euros, and other places. It wasn't easy. But the thing was, I've never liked easy in my life. That's me. I've never liked easy. And I believe everything that I do can work. That's my daily motivation, that I'm the best at everything I do. And I always ask, how did the very first person who did it do it?
Right.
Somebody did it the first time and they
Mhm.
were able to do it. Sometimes when we leave our hopes in theory alone, you never get far.
No,
you
No, you
know.
don't. Yeah.
So mine has been based on experience. It took me about 4 to 5 years, 5 years, yeah, to finish the book. Some of
Wow.
the pictures I had to go back and take them again because the clarity wasn't good. It
Right.
wasn't also so easy getting to some of these places, and
Yes.
had to organize the people to come out because some of them have it as shelters,
Right.
and some
Right.
squatters are in these places. Some places I had to pay people to sweep the place just to get a good picture. So it
Mm.
was a lot of things that went into it.
Mm.
The main purpose for me also to do the book is threefold. One, to create awareness, okay? The awareness for us locals that are here. Many people don't even know that we had more than 3 or 4 castles.
We only know Elmina and Usu.
Osu and Cape Coast Castle, basically,
That's
that's
all.
it. Yeah. But there are so many of them that littered the coast. There was, at one point in time, 100 forts, lodges, and castles that dotted the coast of Ghana, and only Ghana.
All shipping our people out.
Shipping, trading. It started with trading, then it morphed into human, what do you call it, commodities,
Right.
which is written in the early part of the book. It gives a summary of how all the things relating to the transatlantic
Mm-hmm.
slave trade started. Okay, so back to the reasons for creating the book, to create a local awareness and also to let other people in the diaspora know about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This book is more than just a book on the forts and castles of Ghana and the stories in which the haunting part that I'm talking about comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's about architecture, it's about African history, it's about transatlantic slavery, which affected over 12 million people in the span of from 1400s to the 1800s. That's like a 400-year span of slave trade. Okay, this is massive. It actually is like we are connected all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Caribbeans, the Americas, in Europe,
All
all of these
over.
places.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have people there. But one of the things that probably affects us all is one, there has to be a dialogue that needs to be created, okay, to fix the things that went wrong.
Mm.
We don't know our history. How do we move forward? So we are actually hung in a certain balance of not
Yes.
knowing what happened to us, what is happening, and how we got to where we are. Were we complicit? Was just people, did the white man just come in here and take people away? Or how did it happen?
How did it all happen? So
This
you know
book,
what's funny?
yeah,
Actually, it's not funny. I realized along the way that we don't even know our story.
we don't know our story.
We
So
don't
it has to
know.
be retold.
It
Yeah.
has to be retold.
Because it
And
wasn't told by us as well. It
it
was,
wasn't told by us. And
yeah.
it's like, how does a people who
Mhm,
have culture that
lose
is
it all.
fierce, even in Ghana alone, if you look at the
Oh
different
gosh.
cultures, customs, and things that we have, and we can actually take it. You talked about the business side of things.
Yeah.
We have minimized what God has given us
Hmm.
so much to the point where,
Traded it for somebody
I
else.
have the opportunity to work in a place where I see foreigners come and go, go to Ghana and all of that. And I just smile because they will go and come,
Yeah.
go and come, go and come. And within a few years, I've been made
Yes.
chief, I've been made queen, I own this business, I own that land. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'll see our own people. And all we do is talk negative about Ghana.
Yeah.
So, what would you say? I
Yeah.
mean, for me, this book, I believe, like I said, should be in all schools.
It should.
It
Mm-hmm.
should be in every Black home
Mm-hmm.
so that families are teaching their children
Mm-hmm.
about what is their Ghana.
Yeah.
You see, because we can't leave everybody hanging. We
Hmm.
can't. So, at this point, how successful is this book in Ghana? in reaching the schools and in the libraries? Because everything starts from home.
Yes.
How
Well,
successful?
the question, the answer to your question, I think is twofold. One was asking um, how we can get it into schools and stuff like that, and also how the other part was monetizing this. I think, yeah, the how it should get into the schools and our institutions here, unfortunately, doesn't always start here. You have to go outside the country, and people outside the country praise your work,
Hmm.
then your local people will support it. But
Okay.
thankfully, okay, I think I've been able to break through certain chains that majority of the support so far has come locally.
Okay.
Okay. But we haven't gotten to the levels where it's going to Ghanaian institutions or Ghana schools and all that stuff. They would complain about price, which is nothing compared to the knowledge we gain and to the things that we can change with the knowledge we gain.
And the
Okay.
quality will last forever. The
Definitely.
quality. The
I didn't
quality.
want to sacrifice on that. It's
No.
important to give a good quality. You might not make so much money, but with the quality that you put out there, if somebody else, like there are future books that I'm about to do that people want to be participate in, they know what I can put forth.
Right.
So hence, I can do more on this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now, I said I had asked that how many forts and castles, because I haven't been able to go through all this. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's in the current book. I mean, the remaining out of the lot that got destroyed
Uh-huh.
is about, we have close to 24 out of the 48 that was actually forts and castles for trading. Is
Okay.
only left with 24 that are visible right now.
Okay.
And also part of the, what do you call it, the reasons why I made the book was also to create the awareness of the current stature of these buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Is a UNESCO site, by the way, which means it's a heritage site.
Okay.
My thing is that we as a country,
Mm-hmm.
for anyone who's in charge, should participate in the restoration.
Mm-hmm.
The entities that are concerned, and there's the Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, the Ghana, what do you call it, Tourism Agency, and the Ghana Ministry on Tourism, should have or make a concerted effort to fix these things.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine all these forts and castles are right next to where there are fishing harbors,
Right.
okay?
Right.
Fishing bays, not harbor per se. These guys have been fishing for centuries. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they haven't made much, okay? How can we change these people's their fate right
The
now,
destiny.
in their destiny, by using what they already have? That's
Mm-hmm.
these forts and castles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instead of them fishing there, we could have cruise ships that will come in and dock and have people go on tour. And there's a lot of them to tour around this place. They
Mm.
can dock in Cape Coast and travel the coast back and forth and see maybe 5 to 10 or 20 of them
Mm-hmm.
at a
Mm-hmm.
go. Okay, we need to be proactive
Proactive.
and also think beyond what has been. Nobody is paying attention to these things. And this can be created into a pilgrimage, a place for all these African Americans to come and visit and know that they are taking back something that speaks to them. But
From what
there's so
you're
much that needs to be
saying,
done.
so
Come
from what
again?
you're saying, we
Yes.
need a global entity. Like it has to be a global thing so
Eh,
that we work
eh,
together as a
They
group.
already have the global thing. They have the UNESCO. They have the heritage side. They have all the big names that are attributed to something like this. These places. The thing is action. Who is
Action.
taking the action to make sure that these places are turned into places where people can really visit and have a visit that is worthwhile. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
if you really make those places amenable for people to come, not only the fort, its environment. You know, I think all these forts and castles should cordon off probably 100 to 200 meters radius of these places should be cleared and made into a very beautiful place that people can go and visit.
And the
We
thing about it is,
turn
there are
this
people,
tragedy into money,
and
you
there are
know?
people in these areas who need jobs. They don't
Exactly.
have to be poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are people in these areas that you can actually pull them together, sell the vision to them, back
Yes.
them, stay
Yes.
with them
The thing
until
is, they will say that, oh, it's so complicated.
no.
Nothing good comes at ease.
Mhm.
It never happens.
Never.
First of all, you have to get the chiefs to buy into the dream. That's the one person and its people that can destroy whatever you have in mind for these forts and castles. Let
Yes.
them buy into the dream. Okay. Make a practical investment. Okay. Something that makes sense. That if we are to put XYZ in here, what will be the returns that are going to come to us?
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, it's not about the money that needs to be put into these places. It's the mindset that run the place, that maintain the place, that live around the place. These are the things that we need to work on. We need to school. We need to get people to go to school for things that are applied to us.
Things that
And we
matter, things that are practical without in our face.
exactly.
I
If you know
find
that
that I
the
find that what our people need
yeah,
is encouragement. Show them the possibility
yes,
and stay with them. I
yeah.
find
Eh,
that is all our
You
people
see,
need.
the encouragement is one thing. If you encourage somebody, they'll be like, okay, cool. But if you show them the possibility of creating a sustainable lifestyle out
Mm,
of this,
mm,
then it would really make sense because people want to know, hey, how do I make money?
mhm.
You know,
Yes,
if
yes,
you know how you can make money, you will know how to really fix and maintain whatever is given to you to do.
yes. Mhm.
You know, so in that way, it helps the community. It creates a tourist destination that if you can say we can have 3 to 5 cruise ships that come every week. Europe is not about probably 6 hours by flight to this place. By vessel, however it takes long, is closer than it is to the Bahamas. Okay, we have made our waters filthy. How? By doing whatever they do at the beaches. If we are to clear these people, our beaches will go back to looking like it has to be just like in Buzia, how the beaches look like in Western region, how the beaches look like in the Volta region, how the beaches look like. It's man-made filth that is causing these places to look ugly. You know, we need a whole concept, a whole development of an idea like this idea fits Axine. Bang, put it there, try it out, sustain it. Okay, with all
So
these global entities that have names associated with these forts and castles, let's do something that will make it really stand to be what it is. These are homes, not homes. These were dungeons where that our ancestors, some of our ancestors, lived and died through these places. Are we just going to let it rot and not
but
honor them by making it something that would be to that will edify?
do
You
you know
know.
what I find?
Mhm.
We don't even know the slavery story.
Oh, and that's a lot.
But
That's a
listen
lot.
though, you
Yeah.
see how you're passionately talking about the fact that our ancestors lived through those things and died through those things and sacrificed. It dawned on me not too long ago that in our education system, our own story is not even taught to us. Therefore, you see, this is very serious. Our own story is not even taught to us. So as we're walking through school, we're thinking, it was I I remember when I first came to Canada, whenever they said there was a Ghanaian doctor, we were like, "Na Ghana ni doctor, they didn't know him."
Exactly. We
We
look
will
down
go
upon
to,
ourselves.
we would rather go to an Indian doctor because we were told that
Yes.
Indians are more intelligent. We were
Yes.
told that white people are more intelligent. You see, so the thing about it is, these things are falling apart because we ourselves don't know the story, right? To let alone go and say this is worthwhile.
Mhm.
Because again, how is it that the people that live around these forts and
Mhm.
castles, when you go there, are so poor, right? That's because our mind, we're there, but we're not there.
No.
When
No.
white people come on tours and things like that, we're happy to see them. They bring us a Canada t-shirt with a
Mhm.
flag on it. They bring us a flag, and we go back into our old dilapidated things because everybody else is better than us.
Mhm.
So how, like, I admire your work so much. I mean,
Thank
some of the arts on the bridges, some of the
thank
pictures, like the festival, Chalewote Festival. I
you.
mean, the way the pictures are so vivid, and you see black as beautiful, and our colors jump off the page. People travel to see it. But
Yes.
how do we? I mean, you've taken the first step. I've seen others, thankfully, there's an awakening coming. But
Mhm.
what message can you and I give to those who are coming? I mean, we're trying, we're doing the best that we can.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the things we should know or come to understand is we should know what we have.
Yes.
I always tag some of my pictures, know what you have. It's not just saying, oh, we have a beautiful place. Okay. The thing is, if you don't know what you have, how do you protect it?
That's
How do
it.
you love it? How do you, what do you call it? Encourage others to come see it to the
Mhm.
benefit of your people.
Right.
You know what you have, understand it, because once you know what you have and you understand it, that is part of the growth. That's the beginning of the paradigm shift that would change things for us.
Mhm.
Okay, most people see tragedy when they see stuff. I always see the beauty in things.
Mm.
Everything that I see it as beautiful. All can be made beautiful. There's a saying that goes, look at things the way they are and it gets worse. Look at them the way they could be and it gets better. So
Mm.
with
Can
that
you
foresight,
repeat that? Repeat that for our listeners and for
okay.
me too.
Okay. It says, when you look at things the way they are, it gets worse. If you look at them the way they could be, it gets better. You know. So with that mindset and mentality, if you start to look at things not just as they are, okay, but how it could be, that's when you would take your own time and go and clean up a place and let others follow suit.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it's not just one of those things. It's not a day thing. You have to actually make it a habit into the people's mind.
Mhm.
Okay, make it a habit into people's mind to really think. Okay, how they do things and how it affects them. You know.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah,
So
that's
so
it.
so now I'm glad, we're having this conversation.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm getting to know you,
yeah,
to see where we as a people can work together, find each
yeah,
other in different places, and to
mhm,
come together as a collective, the right people, that is, so that, like you just said, we can see it and we
mhm,
can imagine the
mhm,
beauty of it. I was
mhm,
in Ghana recently and visited a brie. Oh my goodness. The drive alone was one thing.
mhm.
And then we went to this place where it was like heaven. You stood right in front of the deep green forest. And oh, how I danced and how I laughed and fell in love with the place. Oh my God, I could go back right now,
Yeah.
especially now that winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
But
Game of
what we're
Thrones.
saying is that we need to find each other. We need
Yeah.
to find ourselves. We need to understand that
Mhm.
if it's going to work, it is us who's going to
It's
make it
us.
work.
It's nobody. The thing, and I keep saying this, and this was one of the things when I came back in, I think it was 2011, 2012. It was so grim, like I wasn't finding my feet, and it was so bad. And I kept complaining to this friend of mine, and she's like, okay, all of you come here and complain and say this is bad and this is so who should come and fix it for you to come
Thank
and enjoy?
you. Thank
I
you.
was like, oh, that's a low blow.
That's a
But
low
then
blow.
it
It's like
got me
you hit me
thinking.
right there.
Yeah, it got me thinking, who should come and fix it for me? But then it was like, it's a struggle. It's only a struggle in the mind. You can take anything and make it better. And you see, people are seeing the success now, but it wasn't easy getting to where I am. And it's a
And
matter
it's
of
still not easy.
practice.
It's still not easy.
Yeah, it's a matter of practice, practice, practice. Edit, edit, edit. I've been for so long. I had the camera wrapped out around my hand everywhere I go for like 6 to 8 years straight. Everywhere I go, I had a camera wrapped up around my hand. You have to be so passionate about what you do, and don't leave it just there. Make it count for your time, make it count for not only just taking pictures to take pictures, but for people to see and appreciate what you're doing. A picture, like they say, is more than 1,000 words. Okay.
Mm.
I've somehow been able to take pictures that always elicit the story out of an image,
Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. Mhm.
I saw one of the Chalewote festival pictures. Woo! It was like a bunch of 5 men with good muscles. I was
That
like,
picture has gone far.
come on, bring me to this festival.
That
Bring me.
picture has gone far. That's picture. You see,
But
and
what
yeah,
I'm saying is that even here in North America, remember
yeah.
before, he's a black 6 foot tall man, he's dangerous and this and that. I'm like, oh,
Then again, it goes the perception that is created through media.
through
Okay,
media.
it's through media that most of our decisions are made. Through media, that is actually probably more powerful than guns and army trucks and stuff like that.
The
The
mind,
propaganda starts
because it affects the
anywhere. Yeah,
mind. It's the mind.
exactly. It takes over your mind. And another saying for you says, be careful who you give the steering wheel of your mind to.
Mm.
Because if you give it to anybody, they can steer it any which way they want. And that's why it's important for you to choose what you want to see, not accept everything that is brought to you. For almost 6 to 7 years, I never watched TV. My friend was like, so what if something is happening? How would you know? I'm like, I'll probably be the first to know than you who's watching the TV
Mhm,
all the time. You
mhm,
know, put yourself in a position that this is a do or die situation for me, that I break through with everything that I've decided to do for myself. And
mhm.
you have to keep at it. You have to, like, it's a day in, day out, night. Sometimes, I mean, I would drive like 14 hours, take pictures, come back and immediately edit and post. This is like 24 hours plus
24/7.
thing. Like when we were doing the Asante Henne's mother's funeral. And man, it was a back to back to back because people were demanding and they were wanting to see it, and we were giving it to them live. It's not easy to do that kind of stuff. It's
No.
not, but we did it so well. My friend and I, Bob Pixel, of blessed memory, who was another great photographer, and we'll be taking these pictures and putting them out there. It put Ghana on a global,
Map.
attention.
Yes.
This is what people need to understand. Okay, media is so powerful that
Mm.
whatever you're portraying out there would give you the response of people wanting to come down. A lot of people have come down because they wanted to see the five men in six pack. Okay,
Oh yeah,
just
yeah,
because
yeah.
of that picture, you have people trooping in, wanting, hey, am I going to see the six men? Unfortunately for us,
And there was another one. There was
uh,
another one with a woman dancing adua and almost hanging in the air.
yes,
That
jumping, yeah,
one also blew my mind. But you know what? It
yes,
makes me smile. And I am honored and I am proud to
yes,
know that I've followed you all these years and to also be able to actually have a conversation, a deep conversation that is not only taking you and I on a journey, but hopefully people will continue to share this video so that the message keeps going out. It is our duty as a people, it is our duty as Ghanaians to show our beauty. There is no need for any Black child growing up now to
hmm,
only see negative stories
yeah,
of the Black race. And it
hmm,
is through books such as these,
yeah,
it is through interviews such as these. This interview is critical if it can be shared so many times so that the sales of the book will skyrocket. We
thank you.
never know who will get a hand on the
Hmm,
book, who will lay a hand on the book
hmm,
to help all of us send the message forward. So if somebody wants to buy a copy of the book, where do
yeah.
they go?
They go to yawpareimages.com. I'm just going to give you the link.
I think she just put it there.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And just click on, what do you call it? Remnants of a Haunted Past
Okay.
by now.
Mhm.
And you would have all the, what do you call it? It will lead you to the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Parry, I mean, keep giving us those pictures. As you can see, I've captured some of them in my mind. Sometimes I fall asleep just looking at the pictures in my head.
Wow. Thank you.
But it is my prayer that
Yes.
this book will fall into the hands of major people.
Yes.
I see a documentary coming out of this. I
Oh,
see,
yes.
and by the
Very
way, I
soon.
had to star in that documentary.
You should.
You really should
Yeah,
star
you
in
should. Actually, we're thinking of certain things. One of the other things that I've morphed into is into the movie industry.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, a documentary I shot with my partners. I shot with, actually directed with my partners from Canada, who
Okay.
happen to be in the movie industry at a high level.
Okay.
Supernatural, actually, I don't know if you know of that, and
No.
Twilight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so we partnered, and actually we're doing a film studio in Ghana,
Okay.
as well as producing movies to tell our stories. So
Beautiful.
there's a whole lot that is going to happen. Imagine the Game of Thrones version of people coming from the north to the forts and castles. That is the one
Oh
that,
my God.
yeah,
Tell your
we,
friends.
we'll be working on.
Tell your friends I'm right here in Toronto. I'm ready. I've been ready.
You've been ready.
And sir, we
Yeah,
thank you so much for the work you do. We appreciate what you do.
thank you.
Continue. Don't give up. I know you're not going to
Yeah,
give up because you're not giving up. Give some
yeah.
of us the courage to not give up, to head home and to play our part in everything that
Thank
is
you.
going on to tell our beautiful Ghanaian story.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, we've spoken to Mr. Yaw Pare, author of Say It, You Say It Yourself.
The remnants of a haunted past.
All right. So do share the video, ask people to share it and
Will do.
subscribe to the channel. My name is
Will
Anna
do.
Edu. Stay blessed and I'll be back another time. I'm sure I'll bring your Pari back, but stay
Thank you.
blessed. Be encouraged, be inspired.